Hello fellow Econometrics students, my name is Niklas and I'm going to show you how to use Python for Econometrics, and I'm going to show you how to do a simple OLS with the help of the Pandas package. Pandas is a simple tool in Python for data analysis. You can download it with your pip install, and yeah, this video you will probably have to check out the previous video I made and check out some other tutorials just to get a slight grip on what Python is before, because I will run down through some things rather quickly. Other than that, I will use Yahoo Finance to get the data. Just Google Yahoo Finance and Python and you will get to this site, and you can see the documentation, some example, and yeah, all the information you need basically. I'm also gonna use NumPy, and yeah, and I'm gonna just tell you that yeah, you can do the OLS in stats models as well, but I'm gonna use Pandas because I just show you how to use Pandas more extensively. Because it's a really great package, and I'm going to show you how to use stats models for the maximum likelihood estimator in the next video. I also want to give you a tip on going to quantl.com. This is a really good database for yeah, different kinds of data. It is really good. For example, you can just click on stuff and you can I don't know, Bank of England official statistics, it's free. US Trade Representative, Bank of Mexico. Yeah, you can just search around, and if you know your way around Python, you can you get a really good package, and you can just call that data really simply here. If you just download the Quantl Python package, then you could just use this simple phrase, quantl.get, then BOA, and then this little number, and you can just call this 3-month euro-dollar deposit interest rates mean offer bid. That's data right straight into your Python program. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that thing as well. Alright, so let's get to it. We're gonna program this quite quickly. We're gonna use Yahoo Finance, Pandas, NumPy, and DateTime. You should install all of these just with a simple command pip install, and then like Pandas or NumPy, and yeah, just run that in your terminal, and yeah, so let's get started. Let's save this first of all just into OLS example.py, and we're gonna just import all the packages that we want, and we're gonna start with Yahoo Finance. Just gonna write from Yahoo_finance import share. And from DateTime import date, no, not DateTime, date, and import DateTime, and import Pandas, and import NumPy. But we also want to use these, so we're gonna import Pandas as PD and import NumPy as NP. This is just to make it easier when we this is just to make it more easier when we access these packages later on. Alright, so we're gonna start with just setting up the dates and how we want to do that. So we're gonna just build a variable we're gonna call today. We're gonna make that equal to date.today and then parentheses, and we want a month parameter, and we want to just set that to 12 right now for no particular reason, because we want it to be like from today and 12 months back when we call the data. And we want a start date, which is going to depend on the two variables above. And to get a start date, you need to just take today's date and subtract the last couple of months. And to do that, you use the date time function time delta. It's fairly simple. It's just date dot today, then minus date time to call the package, and then time delta to call the function in the package or module it's called, and then just write months, because we want it to be depending on what we write here. The minus months times 365, the amount of days in a year, and then divide by 12, the amount of months in a year. Alright, so we have that, but we want it to be written in ISO format, and to do that you just put parentheses around it and write .iso format. Alright, so that is done. We want to retrieve the symbols or the stock information. We do this by writing sim_1, sim_2, and then sim_3, just to give names for our variables. We're gonna put this equal to share, and do like that, equal to share, equal to share. Alright, so now we can just pick and choose 3 random stocks in the Yahoo Finance library. We're gonna just pick 3 that I know by hand. We can take Apple, Microsoft, and then to put something that will probably, because these two might be slightly have a slight relation since they're in the same industry, but we can take one stock that is yeah, it's an oil company, so Chevron, which is CVX, I think. All right, now we need to call the data, so we'll name 3 variables: data 1, data 2, data 3. And these will be our variables containing the historical data from these 3 symbols. Alright, so now we will use the pandas data frame, which is a really good way of handling data. It's just so like handy, and there's so many functions within it that are just really good. And you will see that in this video, because we're gonna do some tricks that are pretty cool. Alright, so to call the data frame, we need to call the pandas package by PD, then dot data frame, and then we'll do sim1, and then dot get underscore historical, and now we need the dates, so we need to start date, then comma today. Yeah, and I do think we can actually just copy this down to make it quicker, and we'll just change this sim2 and sim3. Alright, so now we have 3 variables containing the historical data from today and 12 months back from the Apple, Microsoft, and the Chevron stock. Alright, so now we want to create data frames as structured, because now we have 3. Alright, I'll do like this instead. I'll open it in Canopy so I can show you much more directly. Alright, so Nthought Canopy is my weapon of choice when it comes to modeling stuff, because it's a really good example. Oh yeah, we actually saw an issue right here. We can see here must be string, not built-in function or method. It's good that we got into this, because yeah, so we see here the sim.get historical start date then today. It's whining about that probably it gets a date data type and it cannot process this, so we need to make this into string. So we do that by just writing str and take that within parentheses, and we'll do the same thing right here. So str within parentheses, and now our today and start date will be consisting of strings based on this information. Alright, so let's try it again. something is not really doing what it should. Oh yeah, I realized it. It should have had like this. Yeah, all right. And yeah, so it's 12 months. All right, there you go. Here you can see that it has been run. You run it, and then you see it's successful, and then you know there's nothing wrong with the code. And because now we can actually do it like this: data one, just press enter, and now we get the data frame consisting of 12 months of data, daily data from Apple. So you can see here adjusted close, date, high, low, open, symbol, volume. And you can do a lot of stuff with that, but now we're gonna focus on the prices, on the closing prices to be exact. So we want to make a new data frame consisting on only the closing prices from all these. So we don't make a data frame with all of these columns. We only want the closing prices and which symbol we will be using. So to make that, we'll just create a new variable we'll call df for data frame to make it simple for ourselves, and just create a new pandas data frame. And now it might be a little tricky because we will use the squiggly brackets. And in here we'll write Apple because we will need a headline, and under our Apple column we want to use the Apple data. So we'll take data underscore one dot close. And you can see here it's a capital C, so it's sensitive for that. So we need to write that in. So now we have our first column, and then we'll use a comma, and then we'll write Microsoft colon, and then data 2 dot close, and another comma, chevron colon data 3 dot close. And yeah, for some reason I do think you actually need to have another comma after that. Yeah. And all right, so let's run it, see if it works. We can just take these into 2 months for now, so it'll probably, yeah, a lot quicker, because before it retracted 12 months of daily data from 3 stocks, and that's a lot of days that we need to retrieve, and my modem or my router is shitty, so I'm going to get a new one. All right, so let's see, a df data frame. Let's check out what is this new variable we just created. Boom. And we can see now we have the Chevron, Apple, and Microsoft stock data. Yeah, let's get going, because we need to I do think we can actually already do OLS from this, maybe. PD, let's just take a model, I don't know, PDMDL for pandas model is equal to pd.stats to invoke the stats package, and then for some reason you have to write this like this: OLS in capitals. I got that explanation once, but I don't really remember it, so I just do it if I have to. And then we'll take our y variable. Our y variable is equal to df for our old data frame, and then it's those hard brackets. From this data frame we want the Apple column, and then we want our x's to be x is equal to, we can make capital X, x is equal to df, and then I think we need, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to close this. Oops. All right. Yeah, I think this is okay. All right, so the second, we take it from the data frame, and we want micro soft, and we want chev, oh, it's a capital C, chev ron, and end parentheses, and maybe this works. Oh, exactly. I guess so, because for some reason you do need double hard brackets. Ah, yeah. This is also a thing. When I downloaded the data, the stock data is actually interpreted as strings, which kind of sucks. So we'll have to write this before we write uh, before we write the OLS. We need to do like this: is redefine data frame into a data frame dot convert dot underscore objects, and then convert numeric is equal to true. All right, let's try this. It worked. PDMDL, and there we have a simple OLS. We can see here Y, Microsoft plus Chevron and Intercept. Yeah, and here you get all the information you need. You get confidence intervals, p-values, and yes, all basically all the information that you need. And a little interesting thing as well, you can try to maybe log this for some reason if you're interested. Because I forgot, I realized I forgot to use the NumPy, so I'll just do the same thing, but I will log it as well. And here's a interesting thing: you can try, like, you can do, one would think that you could do like this: NumPy dot log, then turn this into, and this would like mean it would become logged. But as we encountered the previous problem that we couldn't do the OLS because our objects within the data frame was interpreted as strings and not numericals, such as the beautiful little um, floating points that they are. You would not be able to do that with the log of it. So you would have to basically do this again, but now after this numerical converting process, you can print np.log data1.close, and then like surround it with the parentheses, np log parentheses, and then for the last one, np.log, like that. Yeah, that's right. Because we have this data frame converted from this data frame where the data was data1 and we had something called data close. But now we have renamed these columns into Apple, Microsoft, and Chevron. So we would actually have to write Apple or df.apple, because it's the data frame, and then we want to use the apple. And right here we want to use the data frame dot Microsoft, and right here we want to use the data frame dot chevron with the capital C, chevron, like that. PDMDL, you get that. I didn't really do this example for some statistical significance. It was basically just to introduce you to the finance package, Yahoo Finance package, and just basically how to run an OLS. You could always use the Quandl packages, as I showed you right here. You could download data here, and the thing is that as the first time you've written a program like this, it is really easy to just replace this little part and then just add like other symbols, other data, and then you basically have you can just replace this and this and this, and of course it will be depending on this as well, but other than that, this entire function of like evaluating how many months, and we're gonna look back what symbols and how we're gonna interpret data, and how we're gonna juggle around with the data frames and convert them and log them, and you'll basically have an OLS estimator just customized. And okay, so this concludes our lesson for this time. I'll see you all in the next video where I'll be going through a maximum likelihood example. Yeah, have a good one.